So when you're onboarding new developers into an organization, they need to learn about the internal technology stack from an organization. And often they use technology that they know. Could be like a programming language, could be Kubernetes, could be Datadog. So most likely they will know bits and pieces of the technology stack. But what they don't know is how an organization has composed its entire technology stack. So how are these components working together? What workflows are defined on top of these? And really, how does it all fit together? And this is something that organizations struggle with, to getting people up to speed quickly on their bespoke implementation of a tech stack. So what you see today with companies that onboard engineers to their organization is that they need to train them on the organization-specific implementation of their stack. So what they often do is they create documentation pages, they create videos, if they're really fancy. They have people pairing, doing stuff side by side, all just to recreate all those nitty-gritty details of a tech stack implementation at that company. And what you often see is that this takes quite a bit of time, both in terms of setting up these environments, setting up the documentation, but also in terms of supporting people, helping them out, guiding them, spending time with them to show people around. And that can really eat up a lot of time before people are really up to speed with the technology. So most companies, they will also have some sort of subscription to Pluralsight, to Udemy, to train people in the basics of their technology stack. So you can get standard training for Kubernetes, that's really excellent. You can get some off-the-shelf training on AWS, and that's really good, and there's some wonderful content out there. But I think that will only get you to 75% of what people really need to learn. And the last 25% is about bespoke implementation at that company. And there's no training company in the world that can offer you this kind of content, because this is really about how you as an organization has set up your technology stack, how you integrate the different components, how they work together, and what flows and workflows you have defined on top of those. And this is the part that typically lacks, and this is the part that really takes the time to really dive into when onboarding within an organization. So when people use Instruqt, they can actually create content that mimics their own technology stack. So using Instruqt, you can construct sandbox environments that are identical or really close to production. So you can really train people in the actual workflows that you have without having to touch production systems or workflows that might cause downtime or issues. So you can get them to play around with the actual technology in the configuration that is representative for your production environment, and in a way that they would also do in production. So you can fully train them on your technology stack in the combination of technology that you need. So I think these platform teams, they take away a lot of the burden on these other development teams. But the one thing that you still need to do is you need to learn about how to use this platform, how to operate it, and how to consume it as a development team. And I think that's where we can provide a really good solution. And so organizations nowadays, they try to tackle this problem in a different way as well. So what you see happening in the market is a movement called the platform engineering. And platform engineering, I think, is the next logical evaluation of DevOps and SRE. And this is where organizations, they create internal platform teams that deliver a software development platform to other teams. So you get this internal team that encapsulates the technology stack and makes it readily available to other teams. And by doing so, they abstract away a bit of the technology, but what they also do is they introduce new technology for other people to consume. And I think in essence it's a really great idea, because you can hide some stuff that's really not interesting for most development teams. But the flip side is that you really need to train those development teams in how to use your platform and how to use it effectively. And there you see a similar problem as we've described before, is you really need to train people in how to use your bespoke implementation. And again, this is something that no training company can offer. This is something that you need to build yourself. And I think by using Instruqt, we give you the means and the tools to actually build this kind of content and to speed up onboarding for development teams on your internal platform. Yeah, so these platform teams that build an internal platform using the same components that we discussed before. So they either use a cloud provider, they use a service provider like Datadog or MongoDB or one of those, typically multiple of those companies. And they package it into a coherent product. And in that sense, they are not that different from any software vendor. So they build a product that builds basically like a platform as a service. And they also need to market it as a product within the company. Of course, they have it a little bit easier because they know who their clients are and who they sell it to, so to say. But still, they need to train and onboard those external development teams or the other development teams how to use that platform. And this is, I think, this is really analogous to any software company or any SaaS provider or PaaS provider that needs to onboard people onto their product. So it's really about making it as easy as possible to consume your product and learn about your product. So when these platform teams deliver their product, not only do they deliver the actual platform that people run their applications on, but they also need to deliver documentation and everything around this product. One thing that we see with our customers that use us for internal enablement is that these platform teams have an extra deliverable in the form of hands-on training content for their platform. So they use Instruqt to create content around their platform and the features of the platform that they deliver, and they use Instruqt to actually onboard people onto their platform. I think the main shift towards platform engineering you see nowadays is because it offers some tangible benefits, right? What people really want is to deliver software as fast and as quickly and as good as possible. But to deliver software successfully, you also need to think about the non-functional aspects of applications. So how do you deploy it? How do you operate it? How do you monitor it? And these are things that are a different skill set than just building the actual software itself. And this is where platform engineering is especially useful, because you can encapsulate these kind of aspects into the platform. You can offer best practices, you can offer guidance to people, and also the tools and the techniques they need in order to run their application successfully. So you can actually speed up development, you can speed up delivery of functionality by having these internal platform teams.